keep that in mind.
Yeah, hey, forget I asked. That'll definitely do.
Ew. Join the Discord.
It was the least fun I've ever had playing this game.
A small but vibrant and extremely humble community.
No, I've seen the sleeves, but I'm like, you said you're suiting up and then you put your sleeve on. Thank you for saying that.
Because I'm a demon on the keys.
Next thing I know, we're both dead. I immediately left the lobby.
In Vietnam.
What are they playing for? Are they playing to win?
Stay humble.
Stay humble.
We are recording. Welcome to the Dropshot, a Call of Duty podcast bonus episode number 66. My name is Casey, also known as Razinon. I am joined by my little buddy Tanner. Tanner, how you doing, bud? Are you excited for Christmas? We're getting close.
What's up there, Chomo?
Don't call me a chomo, man. It's pretty rude.
Am I excited for Christmas? No.
Yeah,
I'm an
me
adult.
neither.
No,
Yeah, I agree.
not at all.
This has been
actually.
the least Christmassy Christmas. I don't know why. It's very weird.
So mine is like last year and in previous years, it was because like work would make it feel more Christmassy because we sold Christmas shit and there was like a Christmas tree up.
There's
And
decorations.
it's and then like
yeah.
you'd be like working when it was like cold and like rainy out, so you'd be looking outside and it'd feel like Christmas. It just it doesn't this year at all. Actually,
Yeah.
pretty
Which
depressing.
I'm totally
really.
fine with.
Got it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I don't care.
I'm
It's
I'm
worth.
seasonally depressed. Yeah.
Got it. I think you're just depressed, period. But anyways,
Hey,
welcome
maybe,
to the
yeah.
show. So this is a Patreon episode we're doing, and I will start with this announcement. So patrons, first of all, you are getting this episode early. Normally, you're exclusively getting this episode, but in this case, in honor of Jolly Saint Nick and the Christmas spirit, and because Tanner will be in Zion National Park, we are going to also be releasing this episode publicly. So if you're a patron, you've gotten it first, but this will, of course, be going public. And we've done this, I believe, only one other time. And the impetus for that is, well, there's a lot of reasons, actually. We have the reasons that concern you guys are, well, we'll just say all the reasons, I guess. Oh, if you're new, by the way, hey, welcome. This is a Patreon episode, so it's going to be a little bit different feeling than our normal episodes. And also, we timestamp. Oh, no, I'm not timestamping this. Fuck you. Not doing it, man. Maybe I will. Maybe
No,
I will.
don't.
But normally
Fuck 'em.
we do not. Normally, we timestamp episodes. So you can go to the show notes or the description and then skip the announcements. Normally, we do not do that for Patreon episodes, though, and get scammed. So we'll see. Check the description. Maybe there'll be some timestamps there. Maybe not, dude. And in that case, listen for the jingle and skip there. That's when you know the announcements are done, if you're a new frog. But if you've been listening a while, you know the fucking deal, man. Okay? So anyways, yeah, we're going to make this go public. Tanner's going to be out of town, so we're just going to skip that ep. I would maybe try and cover his shift, but I don't want to do that because we're going to have the roundtable soon, and I would rather not. I'd rather just wait for that opportunity, because any guest I would have on, we would be broaching a lot of those subjects that I'd rather just table for the roundtable. So that is why we're just going to make this Patreon episode go public. And if you are a normal listener of this podcast, but you are not a patron, cringe, first of all. Join the fucking Patreon, patreon.com/dropshot. And also, if you like this episode, then there are more on our Patreon.
Quite a few
like
more,
this
yeah.
one. Quite a few more, yeah. 65 more, in fact.
More than that, even,
and
if you join Damascus.
More, yes, exactly, yeah. Well, a lot more than that in grand total. But yes, so if you've maybe been considering joining the Patreon, now's a good time, because we're doing an overhaul for January where we're going to be doing even more bonus episodes. And this can be a little teaser for you. This is going to just be a full Patreon episode. There's no ads. there will be if you're listening on an app right now, but if you're a patron listening, there are no ads. And yeah, they're fun. They're good stuff. And we go real balls deep into things that we don't really feel is optimal to do on like Saturday episodes even. So that's what we're doing today. So if you like the episode, join up. Patreon.com/Dropshot. You get access to all the old ones, and then obviously all the new ones as well. So, couple announcements besides that. What is this first one here, Tanner?
So we've pretty much officially decided, we've been talking about it. The mugs and the whiskey glasses will not be coming back. So the way we're going to do things from now on pretty much is probably do a drop. It sells out. That item will probably never come back again. The only items that probably would come back and stay are like the t-shirts we have now and like a white t-shirt when we eventually do that. But for stuff like this, we have decided we will not be making these again. So we're going to it's kind of going to be more, they're going to have more meaning to them because you get that drop and then, 2 years later, you can tell people, oh, I have the whiskey glass. You don't because you're a fucking bitch, right?
Yeah.
And he bought it when they had it.
Dude.
Our first real merch drop. So if you guys want those, highly recommend getting them now. There are 10 whiskey glasses left and 12 mugs left. So get those while you can because those will be gone, I would imagine, within the month probably. So yeah, get those now if you've been wanting them.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, so like the whiskey glasses, so we might release whiskey glasses again, but they won't be the same.
Yeah, we would change
They'll
something.
be meaningfully different. Coffee mugs maybe will restock, but not for quite a while because the demand's not there. I don't know how much you could change a coffee mug.
Yeah. If we were to do a coffee mug again, we would probably do something as even changing the color. Black mugs look pretty dope,
A black mug, yeah, I was thinking that too. A black mug, maybe with our one color logo. So yeah, even those would be like, limited edition. And even the t-shirts as well, by the way. I feel like we will have some type of t-shirt in stock pretty much at all times at thedropshot.com, of course. Great way to support the show. But I don't know if we'll ever bring back our first edition t-shirt. We might because it's really basic and I know a lot of people like that, but we also might not because there's a lot of things you can do with t-shirts that are really cool. We have some really neat ideas cooking for merch right now. Our next merch drop is pretty much already set. It's going to be pullover hoodies, and we're going to have some die cut stickers. The people voted. This isn't a democracy, but we decided to side with you this time.
That was nice of us, wasn't it?
We're going to get some. Yeah, we're so magnanimous, man. So we got some die cut stickers. Well, we're getting them, and then we're going to be getting the hoodies. But after that merch drop, we have some very exciting ideas on the horizon as well. We're going to be getting a little more active. We'll leave it at that. But that's all contingent on us, of course, not being in merch debt. So go to thedropshot.com, buy some goddamn merch. Thanks in advance. Now, what is this last announcement here, Tanner?
I just want to say, so today, you'll hear what the topic is in a second, but just want to say now, Bloom was just removed in this update today. So there could be a lot we could technically say in this episode, but we haven't played since they did this. They didn't formally announce it either. Ace tested it today and said it's removed. So hopefully by the Thursday up tomorrow, the public live episode, we will be able to discuss some of that. But as of now, there's things we could say, but we haven't played this update with the Bloom changes and whatnot. And there were a lot of other weapon balancing updates today. Haven't played it, so we won't be talking on anything that happened yet for that.
Yes. And then also Ricochet just went live. And I think we should maybe do an episode at some point. I'm writing this in the board meeting. Did Ricochet work / make the game easier? Because the reason I asked that question, by the way, is because I don't know when I said this. It was fairly recently. I think it was on a public episode. I was like, on the one hand, when engine owning is down, lobbies are easier because people aren't aimbotting. But on the other hand, lobbies are easier because no one's walling anymore. And you didn't realize they were walling before because that's hard to detect. in like a kill cam, and someone could have pinged you, or they could have seen you running around that corner, and then you die. So you're not sure they're walling. But then when engine owning is down and the aimbotters disappear, even your non-aimbot gunfights feel way easier. And my hypothesis is because if there are no aimbotters, that means the cheats aren't working, including walling. So then easy or normal gunfights where someone would otherwise be walling, they can't. So then you shit all over everyone because everyone stopped walling all of a sudden. And that's not super easy to pick up on. I went on a whole thing about that pretty recently. I don't know when or where, but anyways, that's going to be another really interesting episode. I don't know if we'll save that for Patreon or we'll do it on a Saturday, but we've written it down. We'll probably be doing that episode, and it'll take some time, maybe in a month, once we've had some Ricochet time under our belt, some meaningful time. But that's going to be a super good episode too, actually. So yeah, Ricochet just went live in North America and South America as well. Maybe some other places.
I think it's the whole world now.
It's live in California. That's all I care about. The whole world, right?
Yep, supposedly, yeah. Worldwide.
Wow. So that's going to be cool. We've had some performance issues. I'm hearing news, some performance issues, but that's kind of to be expected. So anyways, yeah, Bloom is removed. So we haven't played without Bloom yet, but I can imagine what it feels like. So anyway, other than that, that's it for the announcements. Let's get into this bitch. If you're listening for the jingle, here it is. Alrighty. Now, welcome. Bonus Ep 66, Patreon gone public. Once again, this is a Patreon episode that we're making public because we're not doing an episode live on Saturday when we normally would. So here you go. And if you enjoy this episode, consider signing up for the Patreon. It's the best way to support the program. Now, as you can tell, if you can read, and I know many of you can't, the episode topic today is Caldera / Vanguard Season 1 second impressions as they relate to Warzone. Honestly, I don't have much else to say on the topic of Vanguard Season 1 second impressions. I don't have second impressions. Not too much changed. Not enough changed. There was like very little weapon balancing, if very little, that didn't meaningfully impact how I play the game or perceive the game or how I am victimized in the game. And the two maps, the 1.5 maps that got added because one of them was a remake, which is fine. I like remakes, but I mean, MW3 Dome, hey, some better options for remakes, first of all. But then Paradise, it's like, you know, it's a map, it's cool, but I don't have much else to say on Vanguard since Season 1 came out. But I do have a lot to say on Warzone since that came out, and since we did our last episode, our first impressions episode. We have evolved our thoughts on some things, and we are going to give them to you now in no particular order. Now, this is less of a second impressions, almost as like a first impressions part 2, because normally when we say second impressions, what that implies is if we have changed our mind on any of our first impressions, or if we have even more strongly agreed with what our first impressions were. There's going to be some of that in this episode, but a lot of this is just additional kind of observations and things that we've picked up on, things we're thinking about since we did our first impressions episode. So these are in no particular order. Tanner, why don't you kick us off?
All right. Start off here. We have the topic of Vanguard Royale versus Battle Royale. Vanguard Royale Like it sounds, only Vanguard guns. A lot of things are restricted. You can't use snapshots. You can't use heartbeats. Regular Berthas, choppers are out of the game from regular BR, and instead it's fighter airplanes, which is a big and shit vehicles from Vanguard. So
dog shit vehicle.
This is kind of a hot topic right now. I'll kind of get into my specifics in a second, but it's kind of hard to say which one I think is better at this point. I will say this right off the bat. It is surprising the number of people that are playing Vanguard Royale. I did not expect a lot of people to be playing this. Even a bunch of the pros are playing it, which is weird to me because I'm like, there's no way they're going to constantly be doing these tournaments when there's airplanes, right? Because they can restrict airplanes, and I think that's what they've been doing. But there are times when you come back from the gulag in Vanguard Royale and you spawn in an airplane, a fighter plane, in the air. It's like, huh? Yes.
Really?
That is a thing. There's a chance when you
Never happened to me.
I don't know how exactly it works. I've seen plenty of clips from it. You come back from the gulag, and it tells you when you respawn from the gulag. Like when you still have the gulag screen, it says respawning in an airplane, and it gives a different icon. So it tells you. So then you have to, during these tournaments, you have to just jump out of it right away, I guess, or you can be disqualified or something. There's way too much cheese in that mode for these tournaments. Not sure why these guys are trying to play it. I don't really understand it. So I'll go through my kind of little pros and cons list first here. Vanguard Royale pros. Everyone being stuck with the same gun set, only Vanguard guns, there's like 40 of them or something, somewhat levels the playing field theoretically. It seems to me that a lot of the Modern Warfare and Cold War guns still kill faster than Vanguard guns, but they almost all have more recoil in general, and more than that, slower ADS speed. There are so many Vanguard guns, which we'll talk about too, that have very fast ADS, good mobility, zero recoil, pretty good damage profile. So I think that's kind of where we're sitting with that. So probably the biggest benefit to that is no Swiss and no Car 98. And besides that, honestly, there's not too many pros with Vanguard Royale. I'm not quite understanding the draw to it. People have been saying the lobby seem to die out slower. Don't know why exactly that would be, and I don't necessarily think that's always true. However, the one game I played when the lobbies died out the slowest that I've ever seen was in Vanguard Royale, so I don't know, that may say something. If you guys don't know what we mean, the lobby dying out means by the time the first circle, the gas closes, if there's 60 people left, there's a team of aimbotters in there. If there's 100 people left, then okay, that's okay. If there's 120 people left, then it's like, holy shit, this lobby is alive and well. So that kind of just tells you, the obviously for people that want to go for high kill games, the longer that lobby stays alive is going to be more fun for them, more people to kill. So besides that, I'm not really understanding the draw here. I don't know. I will say I played much more regular Battle Royale than Vanguard Royale, but not understanding the draw. So I would say the pros for regular BR, better vehicles, which in turn gives you better mobility, moving around the map quicker. You have Berthas, TAC Rovers, SUVs, which handle better. They're faster in general going up hills and stuff when they hit bumps in the Vanguard vehicles. And there's helicopters, of course. This mode has no fighter planes, which is cringe and annoying. There's been plenty of clips online of people getting 20 kills in a fighter plane alone. Yep. The other day we were playing, 2 of us got down to someone in a fighter plane, and we were like, okay, why do people like this? What is going? I mean, we were just running across the field. Plane comes down. You don't even know it's coming. You're not expecting it, and all of a sudden, Grim's just downed, and then someone else got down. He's like, what the fuck was that? And you watch the kill cam, and it's a plane. Oh, you don't hear anything.
I swear to God, it's pretty quiet.
Yep, you don't hear anything.
It's really dumb. It should roar. Yep. If it's that close to me.
Absolutely.
Which it was. It was like 10 feet off the ground, just fucking my ass.
Yeah.
Don't hear it. Cool.
So that's a big pro for regular BR.
Across the fucking map.
True. Is you don't have to deal with those dog shit airplanes. Another thing regular BR doesn't have. People complain about the audio. You go play Vanguard Royale. Oh, maybe that's why people are complaining about audio, because you can't hear anything because there's so many unnecessary audio cues. There's these bombing runs that come in and target you constantly. You'll get targeted automatically by one of these bombing runs, which is like a aimbot cluster strike, essentially, 5 times throughout the game. If you walk in a building that gets targeted, you can't leave. It's very weird. It makes a lot of noise. It's just annoying. The static airplanes that are just flying over constantly, those make noise. There's like flak guns being shot at those. That's just part of the game, an audio cue in there. So you constantly hear like pum, pum, like in the distance, a flak gun's going off trying to shoot these stupid planes. Ground loot vehicles are way too loud. Just so many unnecessary, ridiculous audio cues in Vanguard Royale that regular BR doesn't have.
Yeah.
And then, last thing for regular BR, there's just not nearly as much cheese. Vanguard Royale has a guaranteed fire sale, restock, or resurgence. At least one. I think often you get 2 of them, actually. Maybe
There's
fire
definitely
sale
a
is guaranteed. I think it is.
Fire sale is guaranteed.
That's in like Circle 3.
I don't know about resurgence.
Okay, so then I think the restock one is also in the same category as like resurgence. And there may be something else. I think there's 3 different things where you can get in like the 4th or 5th circle.
There's a guaranteed restock too.
Is that guaranteed?
I don't know. Yes. I don't know if resurgence is guaranteed.
That's definitely not guaranteed. I don't know. Raven has a list of all. I didn't pull it up and it's too late now. But bottom line, way less cheese in regular Battle Royale like that. Because you already get fire sales in regular BR. You don't need them every single game like you get in Vanguard Royale. It's very annoying. So
it is weird. It seems out of place for that mode too.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on all this?
Yeah. So I would like to echo first your sentiment. I was and have continued to be shocked by how many like streamers, pros opt into Vanguard Royale over regular BR. I get it, but it's still surprising to me. I would not have expected this at all. And that you guys could probably tell if you listen to the episode we did right before season 1 came out, where we detailed Vanguard Royale. I was like, oh, this is another like plunder mode. No one's going to play it. No one's going to care as soon as regular BR comes out. And boy, was I wrong, because I see more people streaming this than regular BR. But I think the reason is especially among Warzone pros, streamers who play fucking 14 hours a day or 30 hours straight, like it's_iron. Adjust your prescription, adjust your dosage.
Allegedly.
And that's a joke. Relax. And it's, whatever. I love iron. Just relax.
It's _iron. Yeah.
It's _iron. Correct. Yes. I think the reason they do like Vanguard Royale more right now is that they, especially with SBMM too, they've been playing 12 hours a day with the same fucking guns for how long has the EM2 been meta? 4 months?
Probably, yeah.
5, maybe?
Too long.
And the OTS-9? Like, how long? So if you're like some sweat whose whole brand is like doing really well in Warzone, you have to use the meta shit, which is an EM2 and an OTS-9. And for these guys, new map comes out. Maybe they try Battle Royale and they're trying to like finally use something other than the EM2 and an OTS-9 for once. And then they load into regular BR and these FB.GG demons with their OTS-9s and their EM2s just fucking destroy them while they are trying to like finally get away from these guns that they've been basically forced to use for so long based on their job and how good they are and how good the guns are and SBMM, where there's of course no fun allowed, as we know. So my theory is they like Vanguard Royale a lot because it allows them to use the new shit and do something new, and it forces other people to also do that, so they're not dying to EM2s and OTS-9s. As you said, it kind of levels the playing field. That's my guess. As far as where I land on this, that is the only pro, but it is a pro. It is nice playing Vanguard Royale because everyone's using new shit, including me. So, you can experiment a little more, have a little more fun that way. However, even that benefit is kind of drying up now. Because what are we seeing in Vanguard Royale now? Automaton and PPSH and Cooper Carbine.
Coop Carb, yeah.
And the good old Coopy boy. And that's kind of it, honestly. So that benefit that Vanguard Royale really had for the first, I don't know, couple days, kind of dissipating, especially if you're getting into these demon lobbies, which you and I usually are. So now I don't prefer Vanguard Royale at all. And in fact, in regular BR, I'm still seeing plenty of automatons. And I'm certainly seeing plenty of Cooper carbines. So I don't care about Vanguard Royale. And for all the reasons Tanner mentioned, it's worse than regular BR. The vehicles are the biggest thing for me, I think. I mean, not only do they have less acceleration, but they have terrible handling.
Yeah.
Like you can see
It's
a
like
tree in
input
front
delay.
of you. Yeah, it's so weird. No power steering. You can see a tree so far in front of you, plan accordingly, turn. You just won't turn in time. And then when you hit it, you come to a dead stop. So then you have to reverse while you shift gears into reverse and then wait for your car to accelerate. And then you start reversing 2 full seconds later. And then you got to go back forward again. So you turn fucking laboriously, go forward, and then another 2-second delay before you start moving again. It is a disaster. The handling is worse than the speed, actually, than the acceleration. So that's the worst thing by far. The planes are super annoying, but honestly, I don't die to them that much. But when I do, it's a disaster, obviously. And then the audio is really dog shit too. Answer? The audio is really dog shit too. When I was, dude, I was playing 2 days ago and we were in like Lagoon by these like wooden huts. And I was like, oh shit, like I can actually hear footsteps here. No, I couldn't. I was hearing flak guns and thinking they were
so
footsteps.
funny.
Smile.
It took you like 5 minutes. You're like, okay, never mind.
It took me quite a while. Yeah, because once we were all just in grass running and I still heard footstep audio, I was like, oh, those aren't footsteps at all, it turns out. Okay, cool.
Must
So
be those
it's terrible.
cans, dude. You got to get
Terrible
new cans.
audio. No, they sounded crisp. I just mistook them.
Yeah.
It's just terrible fucking Warzone audio. But anyway, yeah, that's, and then the cheese shit too. I agree. So yeah, I am squarely in the regular BR is better camp now. I think there's no reason anymore to play Vanguard Royale, except if you wanted to play trios or something.
Yeah.
They'll be adding regular BR like 1, 2, 3s, and 4s very soon, and then it's going to be fun.
Or they won't. I don't know.
I think they.
It's kind of weird. I don't know. Actually, they should have a. We should have a
PU,
a little
PU.
Yeah, little weekly sketch. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, at this point, I like regular BR better. And you said this a couple days ago, too, when we were like streaming or playing. Maybe it was yesterday during the gameplay stream. Regular BR is only going to get better. Vanguard Royale probably won't get any better because they're not going to just take out the airplanes. They may fix like the vehicle's handling and shit, but it's not just going to get that much better all of a sudden. But in like 3 months from now, when the weapon balance is solid, and like people will mostly probably only be using Vanguard guns anyways, regular BR is just going to be superior because
Strictly better. Yeah,
it'll still just be people using Vanguard shit, but then we'll have helicopters, we'll have better vehicles, we won't have the cheese bullshit that's in Vanguard Royale. You got really quiet all of a sudden. Is that my end or yours?
I
think that was my end. Yeah, okay. I think I just hit my headset. I don't know. I think it's good.
Wait. What the fuck?
No, you're good. It's showing the right level. I think I just hit my headset.
You can hear me fine?
Yeah.
My Go XLR isn't showing input.
That's weird.
It's weird. Anyway, go on.
But yeah, anyway, so regular BR is, I think, only going to get better from here. Vanguard Royale won't. So it's still early. I'm sure my opinion will change on this. I know a lot of the boys we play with are liking Vanguard Royale better. Again, not really understanding it, but our opinions will change as we go on. So right now, regular BR is king, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. Next point here. This is going to kind of come as a surprise, maybe, but we had like a hot take. Well, we were talking about how like the loadout change is not a big deal, and then we were like, fuck, maybe it is a big deal, and then we were like, I don't know, maybe I'm full circle. I'm just going to mention this because maybe some of you are curious if we've changed our minds on that. I will speak for myself. I don't know how Tanner feels on this, but I am still in the undecided camp on this loadout change. I still don't really my thoughts and my confusion are the same as it was for our first impressions episode. Like, I would prefer it be reverted, or just freeloady drop earlier and then you can buy it. But is it the end of the world? Probably not. It's still fine. If ground loot continues to be usable, then I don't think I care that much. But I'm still undecided on this ultimately. I'm still not sure. Have you changed your mind on this at all?
Oh, I would still definitely prefer to have the loadout, or at least the other one come early. That may be best case scenario, actually, is like if they drop it like a minute and a half, 2 minutes earlier, but then you still can't buy one until what it's at now, which is like after the first circle closes.
Interesting.
I think that could be interesting. Like after the first circle closes, and and then it hits the 50-second timer, and regular BR, that's when it's dropping right now. So maybe if you could buy one at like a minute and 30 before the first circle closes or something. So that's like a minute 45, 2 minutes earlier than what it is now. Because I find we've been dropping fields a lot and there's a lot of action there. So I feel like once we pretty much wipe everyone out and I look at how much time is left before we get loadout, we usually have about 2 minutes left till the circle closes. So I feel like right in that area, between like the 1 to 2 minute mark would be a good time to drop that first loadout. But then you still can't just buy one right away. And then you have to wait. Because then that would also get people kind of moving again more. Because you, instead of sitting around waiting for your loadout and then waiting at a buy station, when you get that first loadout, what are we going to do? We're going to move. We're going to start pushing teams. We're not going to worry about getting to a buy station and buying a loadout at the same exact time. We're going to start moving. Then once you get to the point where you clear out another team or something like, oh, there's a buy station over here. We have 800,000 United States dollars. Let's buy another loadout real quick. So I think that would in turn make the game play quicker, less downtime, etc. And also it supposedly got better today. Again, we haven't played, but ground loot guns were buffed today pretty hard from what I heard. I know Jake was saying the gunsmith gurus actually looks like they did a pretty good job, and there's some good ground loot guns, and they fixed a lot. Like the Cooper, they had that dog shit like really short barrel on it. I guess they changed that to I think the barrel that people are running on the Coop carb.
Oh no!
So that's good to see.
That's a little too good.
Well, you don't have your loadout for 8 minutes, so I don't know. Well, the gun still only has like 2 attachments on it or something, but just one is the barrel. Yeah, but yeah. Anyways, so that is getting better, hopefully. So that'll probably change some people's minds. Actually, is if there's better ground loot, which we also said that from the start. Hey, if you're not going to give us loadout, then the ground loot better be solid. And hey, it wasn't. Shocking.
It wasn't. Yeah, yeah. Who would have thought? Yeah. So okay. Next point here. This is kind of obvious, and I don't think we need to spend too much time on this, but maybe we will. Because of the loadout change, buy station control, well, for 2 reasons. So, controlling a buy station is more important now than it used to be, for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's way more important early because you want to be able to buy a loadout, because the community one is almost always going to be hotter than, it's never going to be less hot than a loadout you buy yourself at a buy station you control. Put it that way.
Yeah.
It's never going to be as safe, or it's at best going to be as safe. But that's not a guarantee, obviously. So controlling a buy station early should be one of your top priorities, and that's what we've been doing. And it has actively changed how I play the early game of Caldera as opposed to Verdansk. Because in Verdansk, like, you want to be by a buy station like when first loady drops, but usually you don't really care because you've already bought a loadout earlier and now you're like running around, and then you'll just pick up the free one when it's convenient. Whereas now what I find myself doing is like, we drop, get some money, kill whoever's around, and then before the loadout drops, we say, okay, where's a good close buy station we can go to and control? So we're going to go there, we're going to clear the area, make sure it's good. Maybe we want to loot on the, you know, the periphery, the outsides of it, whatever. But then we know we're coming back to this one in particular. You really want to control a buy station to buy Lodi and to buy, you know, self-reses, UAVs, what have you. And then also another reason it's really important is because it seems like there are just fewer buy stations now. So
I don't think that. You're not there's a lot of people saying that, and I don't think that at all. Like when we're at Fields, dude, there's usually 3 buy stations alone at Fields. Like that's where I've been landing mostly. There's just always buys around me. And I keep seeing people say like, oh, they need to add more buys. And I'm like, it's weird. I feel like you move 200 meters in any direction and there's a buy station. I don't know.
Maybe what I'm thinking is because, so the map is the same size as Verdansk.
Allegedly, yeah.
From like square footage. Okay. But on foot, that isn't true because it's so up and down. There's so much altitude.
Yeah.
So imagine it this way. If I wanted to walk across my street and it's completely flat, then I need to take 20 steps. Now imagine if I wanted to walk across my street and there was a valley 50 feet down below sea level, and then also a mountain peak 50 feet up. And then I get across the street. Well, now instead of 20 steps, I need to take like 200, right?
Yeah.
And then more or less, I don't care. The point is this. I would be traveling, like across the street is the same distance from where I start to where I finish. But you can't go in a straight line. You have to go down and then up. So maybe the reason people feel like there are fewer buys is because, yeah, there might be a loadout like on my map that looks like it's close, but oh, it's on top of that bridge. And we've had this experience at Fields where we're in Fields, but we're down. And then there's that buy station on the bridge. So we're like, oh, okay, there's a buy right there. Let's go buy. And then we ping it and we're like, oh, okay, cool. Well, yeah, it's like 50 meters north, but also it's 200 meters up. So then it's going to take us way longer to get there. So maybe there aren't fewer buys, but because you can't get between them or to them even as quickly or as easily, it feels like there are fewer buys.
Yeah.
And then I would still say like controlling them is maybe more important than it is in Verdansk. It certainly is more important early game. That I don't think is debatable. But after that, maybe it is debatable. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah.
Little water, buddy. Big water guy.
Water
Huh?
fucks, dude. Yeah, water's the best. All right, next. Big game bounties fuck so hard. For those of you who don't know, and I think we've mentioned this before, but I'll say it again. If you pick up a big game bounty and it gets poached, then you get your poach reward. Cool. But if you kill them yourself, an advanced UAV is immediately popped for you. This is super good. Obviously, because whether you're trying to kill chase or not, an advanced UAV is really good. Because if you are trying to kill chase, then you know where everyone is and you can go run at them, obviously. If you're not trying to kill chase, but you do a big game bounty and you get an advanced UAV, well, now you know if the next power position in the next circle is occupied or not, and how close people are to it, and from which direction they will be rotating into that circle. So whether you're kill chasing or not, it should really be at least on your mind that picking up and completing a big game bounty are a worthwhile thing to do. And even if you're not like a kill chaser and you're coughing, sneezing, and puking all over yourself, thinking about picking one up because, oh, I'm not that good, I don't want to have to fight the best team in the lobby, pick it up anyway. And then if you're scared and you shit your pants, just don't do it. But the reason I say that is, let's say you are the timid Timmy and there's a big game bounty right next to you, and you guys all have self-res, munis, ghost, your loadout, and you're also like on top peak or in some insane power position, pick it up. They might be better than you, but they might also be way below you in a dog shit position and gas is chasing them, then you should just pick it up and fuck it, go for them.
Just
and
gives
if
you
they're in a
intel.
good spot, and that too, yeah, just like a regular bounty would, right? Yeah, you'll know where the best team is. That's another important point. But yeah, you could pick it up even in those circumstances. Even if you're fucking terrible, then you might get lucky, and they might be like outrunning gas. They might be weak. They might already be fighting. And then you can kill them, get an advanced UAV, boom. So they're extremely good to do, no matter what your playstyle. And I'll also add, make sure you open your map and try to take a mental picture, maybe mark another team that's close to you so you know this is the nearest threat. Here's where they're going to be rotating. Or if you're kill chasing, go chase them. But yeah, what are your thoughts on these? I feel like we don't prioritize these enough as much as we should.
We grab them a lot. They're actually, I think these need to be, the spawn rates need to be nerfed because they don't start spawning until I believe it's the third circle you can grab them. Every single time they spawn in, I swear there will be 3 of them within 100 meters of each other. Like there's times when, if you're in Capital and shit, there's 2 of them in the same building. And for a contract that gives you such a high reward, and getting the advanced UAV in the third circle is super clutch. Circle's already pretty small at that point. They're too good, actually. So these need to be, I think, hit with a little nerf. The spawn rate should be reduced pretty drastically. I mean, if people want to get something like this that can give you an advanced UAV and a bunch of money, you should have to go searching for it, not just run into a building and say, oh, there's one right here, let me pick it up. So I don't like that aspect of it, but they are very, very important. And there was some confusion when they put them in the patch notes. People thought like, oh, only one team could pick them up per round. But no, you can pick up a big game bounty as many times as there are people to mark. So it'll only mark the same team once. So if you mark a team, if you don't end up even killing them, let's say, and you know, the bounty goes to waste, when you pick another one up, it'll mark the second team then that has the second most kills. So they won't get marked again. Every single time we've gotten a big game bounty, I think we've gotten them probably 6 times that I can actually remember. Which, yeah, thinking of it that way, we do need to go for them more. We should be grabbing 2 every game. So yeah, we should definitely focus on that. But out of the 6 of them, we've killed 5 of them, and 1 time it was poached. And so, I mean, that's 5 just free advanced UAVs. And a few of the times too, it's like we're on the edge of zone. We get that big game bounty. You see they're coming up to the edge of circle, and it's like, oh my god, this is the easiest hold. So we get right into zone, right on the edge of zone, and we kill the guys coming in. Free, easy kills. We barely take damage from them. We get an advanced UAV out of it. They're so easy to complete. So like Raz is saying, you don't need to be good to do these. It'll either maybe get poached if you can't get the kill, or just give you solid intel on where the team's at. So absolutely, big game bounties are so important. You should be picking those up when you see them.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, even if you have no intention of doing it, because at least the best team in the lobby, or one of them, you know where they're at. That's good, at the very least. And then if it does get poached, you don't get an advanced UAV, but you get stacking contract bonus, you get money. That's always good too. It's like, you know, unless you are actively seeking some other contract, that you should pick these up every single time you see them. And also, there isn't almost ever another contract that's worth getting over
at
this.
At that point, no. It'd be...
Exactly. By the time these spawn, there's nothing better. The only situation maybe is if you're playing quads, 2 of you are full dead, one of you's on the ground by a supply run, other one's in the air, they can quickly buy someone back. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Or you're the last one alive, you want to do a scav. That's probably smart. But besides that, you should never be doing anything else other than a big game bounty, unless under those 2 like circumstances, basically. Yeah, actually.
And then, you know, the other thing too is if you're picking these up in like the 4th circle and you're not a sweaty team, you have to realize too, the top 3 teams have probably already been marked by this. So you're not necessarily fighting a super sweaty team. You may be fighting a team that you have more kills than them at that point. So it's like
the worst team in the lobby. Yeah,
it could be if every other bounty has gotten, or you know, team has gotten marked already. And so that kind of goes in as well. If you're super sweats, you should be focusing on this. You should know when those come in. You should grab one immediately, because then you know, okay, this is actually 100% the the team with the most kills in the lobby right now. So we should go after these, wipe them out, make the game a little bit easier for us. So they're just so important any way you look at them.
Yeah, for sure. What is this next point?
Gas mask animations.
Smile.
Raven, let's stop acting like you changed anything major. They're just as horrendous. They're just as annoying. The way these circle pulls as well, you're forced to like mantle over rocks, climb over things. So you'll be climbing a rock, then you hit the flat surface and you'll be trying to mantle on the next one, but your character instead rips his gas mask off. So then you have to wait 2 seconds to mantle. Disaster. A complete fucking disaster.
Yep.
Horrible.
Yeah.
It's indescribable how annoyed this makes me. I don't know. It seems to be worse on this map actually, and I think it is because of how these circles pull. So you'll be like running up a hill. Yeah. So when you're like running up steep hills, you can't slide cancel as well. By the way, so it's like you're moving slower. If you get stuck on that edge, you're just going to be screwed pretty much. With that gas mask animation, it's going to get you killed because a lot of people end up playing the edge of the zone because again, how the map is laid out, people aren't used to it. They don't get in as quickly. They think, oh, I'm close, I can get up there. Then they realize it's a sheer fucking cliff that they can't get up. They have to go around. So then people are on the edge of zone.
People. It's
a disaster.
Yeah.
This animation should be at least 50% faster, and I don't think this would be so annoying. I mean, I get they want to try to keep it realistic, because it probably would be a little broken if you could have a gas mask on and there be no animation or downside to it, and you can almost just sit in the gas and shoot people. I don't know. I feel like that's how games have done it in the past. I think H1Z1 had some form of gas mask. I don't remember, and I don't think there was an animation or anything. It was just like you picked it up and you had a gas mask on, and that was it. So I don't know. Something needs to change. This animation needs to be faster. Something. It's still just horrendous. Terrible.
At the very least, yeah. At the very least, what they need to do is, so they had it so like you can plate and a gas mask won't interrupt that, and I think reload and a gas mask won't interrupt that. Maybe weapon swap. I know one of them was plate, and there's like one or two other things that gas mask used to interrupt that no longer does. One of the things it still interrupts is aim down sight, which was my biggest concern, rightfully, obviously. But another one which I didn't really think about, as Tanner is pointing out, is mantling. They need to at least add gas mask animation won't interrupt mantling anymore. At the very least, they need to add that in as well. I don't know if it does, actually, but yeah. I just take it out of the fucking game. I don't know. Gas masks don't last long enough to where it would be cheesy to remove the animation for people to exploit that. I don't think that would happen. Just because gas masks don't last long enough. If a regular gas mask was a durable, then maybe you want to have an animation in to offset gas players. But they last, what, 10 or 12 seconds? Or no, 6 seconds? A regular gas mask, I think? Yeah, I don't think we need an animation. 8. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. But yeah, they're awful. I agree. And they are even more of a problem when everything's so vertical.
Yeah.
So it takes you 4 steps to move a meter, whereas in Verdansk it would take you 2. That's a big problem.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, with that being said, as much as I talk shit about them, gas masks are more important than ever on this map, which is why they're so annoying. Because you have to have them. So if you're like third circle or something, you're gonna have $1 million. Buy a gas mask. You got to think about that. Usually you'll just find one by then. But there's so many weird pulls you have to make. Like final circle, where you can actually use the gas mask to your advantage if you get into, say it's final circle, you're in the zone, it shows where the next one's going to pull, it's going to be in the gas. You can use that gas mask to rotate, and you're going to need to often because of this weird, these cliffs and stuff that we have, because you can't go around some hill because there's a team up there, so you have to stay low. So you can use that gas mask to your advantage, get in the zone ahead of time. Just know you're going to get somewhere and hide pretty much, so the gas mask animation isn't going to affect you as much necessarily, but something that you need to have. And I'm realizing more and more too that I think stims are going to be very important for that reason. I saw a nasty clip on Twitter today that Iron retweeted or like commented on. That was such a smart play.
Doing those.
It wasn't Iron though. It was some other streamer. Don't know who the guy was, but he made such a smart play. He had a gas mask, used stims at his advantage, got way into where the zone was going. He was in the gas forever. Knew he had a muni, dropped that muni, would use the stim at the last second, so he got full heals from it. Just such a smart play. I mean, this guy was in the gas for 45 seconds probably, but the stim saved him there. So I think that's going to help a lot on a map like this too. So that in conjunction with a gas mask, you need to keep those things on you for sure.
And the stim increased movement speed too.
Yep.
That's another thing is like with how annoying these rotates are. I mean, like stim can save you if your gas mask runs out even. Like you're climbing a giant cliff face. You thought you could get in time. You can't. You have no more gas mask. If you have 2 stims, you wait until you're like 5% health, pop a stim, you get a speed boost now. And also heals to full, and then go down to 5% again, pop your second stim, a speed boost to get you in zone sooner, or into final circle sooner if you're making gas plays, and then also heal you. Yeah, stims are definitely better now, even if there wasn't the speed boost in this map as opposed to Verdansk, and that's even more true because of the speed boost. Yeah, you can do some disgusting plays. I remember a long time ago, there was a nice Iron clip ending at port where he did the muni 4 stim gas play and won. Yeah, you could do some goofy shit for sure. And even more now. Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, gas masks are more important now. Yeah. Cause exactly. For what we've been saying, because it's so vertical. If you're, if zone's 50 meters away, but it's a 70% incline, it's going to take you so much longer than just 50 straight meters. So having a gas mask, because you are going to be in gas, is going to be even more important than before. And you have even more money now than before, too. So by the time, you get to like third circle, if you don't have a gas mask by then, just buy one. It's what, 3,500? Or if that, 3K. It's 3K.
Yeah.
Buy one. You have infinite money in this game now. So just buy fucking gas mask.
And actually infinite money.
Yeah. So, yeah. Next point here, Tanner.
Okay, restock snapshot grenades. We talked about those. They're very fun. They're nutty. However, I think Ghost is way too important on this map, like always. Before Caldera and all this drop, you're like, dude, I hope at the very least they change it so Ghost is only working when you're moving. If not, remove it. It's never gonna happen, which is very unfortunate. Maybe eventually this Vanguard mode, by the way, they'll kind of swap it over to like Vanguard perks or something. Otherwise, I don't see the reason for that mode, because that would be kind of cool then. It'd be something different. I wouldn't necessarily make it better, but it would be different for sure. Ghost wouldn't work the same, things like that. So that would be interesting, but it's just too important. I wish I didn't have to run Ghost, remove it from the game, but with people constantly popping UAVs because they have a bunch of money, or getting advanced UAVs from big game bounties, or from all the fire sales, Ghost is just stronger than ever. It just is. As much as I don't want to run it, and I really haven't been. Even like yesterday, I was running restock. I'm like, fuck, dude, I don't want to switch to Ghost. It's just not as much fun, but you're essentially forced to. Now, if they reduce the amount of money spawns, this won't matter as much. If you find money at 25-50% the rate you do now, I think that would make restock a little bit better because of that reason. Every time we go to a buy station, we're just popping 3 UAVs basically because we all have so much money.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of disappointing because restock is very fun. Trying new things like the snapshot restock is fun, but you're ultimately going to end up getting fucked if you don't have Ghost.
I'm not so sure. I'm still undecided on this. I kind of feel like how you originally felt, which is because you can see everyone anyway, Ghost isn't doing that much for you.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of still feel that way because having Ghost, what it seems like what that will accomplish, it seems, is it is going to stop people who are the Chads buying and popping UAVs across the map. They won't push you if you have Ghost because they won't know you're there because you have Ghost. But it's not going to but like everyone in your vicinity is still, I think, just going to see you anyway. So Ghost is like not that helpful. Certainly not as helpful as Verdansk. But if you want to like get into a lot of action and a lot of gunfights, then I feel like you should like welcome the Chads pushing you once they pop UAV if they're across the map. Because I really do feel like most of the time, if they're anywhere close to you, they're just going to see you. It wouldn't matter if you have Ghost. Now, obviously, that's not exactly true. That's like an oversimplification. But it's certainly a lot more common on this map than it was in Verdansk, where there could be literally, you guys saw that solo, the World Series of Warzone solo, where the guy won with like a riot shield, right?
Yeah.
There's a clip.
Yeah.
There's a clip like right before that where it's fucking 12 people in corners in buildings within 50 meters of each other, all holding heartbeat sensors out. And you see on the heartbeat sensor so many dots. That's just not possible on this map. That'll never happen.
I haven't seen a kill cam where someone was using a heartbeat once. In Verdansk, that's like half of your kill cams. They had a heartbeat out, put it away, and then pushed you and killed you real quick. I actually haven't seen that once so far.
Yeah. So I mean, Ghost is still insanely strong, don't get me wrong, and sometimes they won't see you even if you are close to them, of course. But I don't know. This is another thing that I'm still kind of undecided on. Restock snapshots is certainly the most fun thing to do. Restock stims is another good argument too. But is it better than Ghost? I don't know. Maybe. I think it just depends on circle. If it's ending halfway inside Capital, maybe you'd prefer Ghost, but they probably know where you are anyway. Because if there's only one building left and they don't see you, guess where you must be. So Ghost isn't doing anything for you. And then if you're just in the open toward the middle of the map, then they know where you are because they can see you. I don't know. I'm still undecided on this because that's an oversimplification, and that is it's not as extreme as if they're near you, they see you. So Ghost doesn't matter. That's not true strictly. But there are times where that is true, and it's pretty often, certainly more than Verdansk. So I don't know. I don't know what's better, but I've been running Restock Snapshot just because it's more fun.
Yeah, something new that we haven't really done a whole lot of.
Exactly. Yeah. And that leads to our next point here, which is that Cold-Blooded, I think, is just the best blue perk now. Honestly, I'm not seeing many people use snapshot grenades. I think I've been snapshotted maybe 5 times since.
I don't know if I've ever been snapshotted yet. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's crazy how uncommon it is, which I find surprising, but maybe people will pick up on that. But more than that, what I am seeing all the time is Combat Scout. People are getting off amped and going to Combat Scout, as we kind of predicted on this program, because everything's so much more open for a lot of reasons that I won't reiterate. But Combat Scout is certainly more common now. Cold-Blooded negates the effect of Combat Scout. And also, think of what you're giving up to take Cold-Blooded. EOD, typically. Hey, I don't get hit by explosions on this map ever. There's no...
Yep. You don't see that a lot at all.
Yeah. I don't take explosive damage, so why do I need less explosive damage?
Yeah.
I don't. I'd rather have Cold-Blooded to where people using Combat Scout are just canceled. I just completely negate that.
I'm going to switch to that, yeah.
And then the other thing would be like double time. And there's a decent... Double time's better on this map than it was in Verdansk. That's true. I don't think it's as good as Cold-Blooded, though. Honestly, I think Cold-Blooded is just the play.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I agree. Yeah, there's a lot more people running Combat Scout. I'm running it all the time. So you're starting to see more people already run this, I've noticed. Combat Scout is less useful than it was day one Caldera drop, actually. I mean, you're fighting a team of 4. Pretty much one of them, like always, is guaranteed to have Combat Scout. I mean, Cold-Blooded, which usually you don't see that. So I agree with you. This is probably going to be the move. I can't even think. I don't even know if I've died to a lethal yet. I'm serious. It's just always gunfights now.
I don't think so.
Where it used to be like, I don't know, they would throw 2 Semtex and I would take a ton of damage and be, one shot. Yeah, even though they've buffed all of these, they're less useful on this map. So EOD is
exactly.
Its usefulness is kind of dwindling. So I think Cold Blood is the move. I'm going to switch to that and run that for a while. See if I die to anything obvious, like getting double Semtexed or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, I think you guys should all be using Cold-Blooded instead.
Well, don't tell them that because I'm running Combat Scout. Run EOD. Run EOD, actually. Yeah,
got it. This is interesting. What is this next point here, Tanner?
Let me get to this next one first because it's about Combat Scout. So what we're saying about Cold-Blooded, these kind of contradict each other somewhat, but I've been running Combat Scout because I think it's performing better than Amped in most situations on this map. So until you guys all realize Cold-Blooded is very valuable and you just start running that and make my Combat Scout useless, it's pretty fucking good right now. I think part of this also is because there's a lot of people, including me, running I think it's called the SVT-40 scope, which is a variable zoom rifle scope. It's a 3 times and a 6, which it isn't. It's more like a 1 times and an 8. I mean, it's nothing close to a 3 and a 6. And they're taking engagements from very far away. So when you're taking engagements from far away, like think fields, there's that bridge. You'll be taking gunfights from one side of that bridge to the other. That's a long-ass bridge. And you'll start losing people in the trees and the bushes and the, just the hills and stuff. With Combat Scout, you keep track of those people so much easier. You don't lose sight of them like you would before if you're not running Combat Scout. So, also, I think at base, Vanguard SMGs switch off that gun faster than Modern Warfare and Cold War SMGs. It may just be in my head, but there's also that perk that you can put on your SMG so you swap from that gun quicker. It doesn't swap to it quicker. That's still pretty slow, but I tried running without Amped in Verdansk, and I could not get used to it. I ran Combat Scout for 1 game in Caldera, and I forgot Amped existed. I don't know. It hasn't came into play yet, in my opinion. I also haven't been sniping, so that may be part of it. I can't switch to or off a sniper, mostly off a sniper real quick because I haven't been using one. But yeah, so I would also recommend trying Combat Scout until you see just entire lobbies running Cold-Blooded, because I don't think there's really a huge need for Amped. It's always going to be a fantastic perk to have, but Combat Scout is working fantastic right now.
I agree, because this is twofold too, because as you mentioned, for all the reasons you mentioned, and we've talked about this before too, Combat Scout is just so much better on this map than it was in Verdansk.
Yeah.
But in addition, what you're giving up Amped is also worse on this map than it was in Verdansk, because fewer buildings means you're going to be using or switching to your close range gun less often. So you don't need the weapon swap speed if you're never switching guns.
You're not clearing as many buildings out of
exactly.
Quick.
Yeah. So you don't really need. You're not going to get run up on and surprised nearly as often on this map because you'll see them coming because you're not in a building. So again, you have plenty of time to switch weapons. You'll see them coming, and making Amped less important. And also, you're not throwing lethals as often.
Yep.
Making Amped less important. In Verdansk, it's like, okay, there's a guy in this room or up in this window. I want to be able to throw 2 lethals as quickly as possible. I want to be able to stick this guy, whatever. But on this map, there's no buildings. This is part and parcel of what I was saying earlier. When's the last time any of you died to a lethal?
Yeah.
You're just not getting hit with them, which means there aren't really many good opportunities to throw them in general.
Yeah.
At least explosive ones. So Amped, not only is Combat Scout better on this map than it was before, Amped is worse on this map than it was before.
Yeah.
So giving up Amped is really not nearly as big of a cost as it was in Verdansk. And like Tanner said, until the vast majority of people are running Cold-Blooded, I wouldn't bother running I wouldn't bother running Amped. I think Combat Scout is just better. If everyone does start using Cold-Blooded, I'm still not sure Amped is the play. I would have to take a look again at yellow perks and Warzone, but I don't give a shit about amped at all right now. I don't care. If I was sniping, like you said, maybe this would matter more, because switching off of a sniper, you want to be able to do it quickly, even on this map, because sometimes you will be surprised. But still, what are the other options? I'd have to take a look, because like on an AR SMG class, I don't know. I think I would take most things over amped. Even if Combat Scout was like negated by every person in the lobby. I'd have to take a look at what other yellow perks there are again, though, because I don't know what I would take. On first thought, I'm thinking maybe the quicker revive thing. That's kind of dog shit. I'd probably prefer
I think
amped.
it'd still just be amped. Amped is going to be the best out of all of them, I think, no matter what.
Probably, but I would want to take another look. I just haven't thought about it because amped was just so necessary in Verdansk and so good.
Yeah, because also, with the lethals, you'll be pushing a building in Verdansk, you'll see someone run in, so you would, chuck 2 thermites up in the top and start getting hit markers, get a lucky stick. This, it's like, you see someone, and instead of throwing a tactical, you're like, okay, I see them on top of that hill or peeking around that rock or in that bush. I'm going to shoot them instead of using my lethals. Like, there were often times in Verdansk where it's like I would actually die because I would try to use lethals more than just using my gun, and it ended up getting me killed and stuff. This, it's just you just use your gun immediately.
Yeah. Battle hardened. People are using flashes now. I've died because of a flash grenade. Not often, but a couple of times. That's decent. That's a decent idea. If Combat Scout became shit, that would be it, though. There would be nothing else worth running. Yeah. So it would be either amped or probably that. And less stun, fucking whatever. That's good too. Yeah. Not that it does anything, but it's a little more. Anyway, I wonder after the stun nerf how it feels to get stunned with Battle Hardened in Warzone now, actually.
I don't know. By the way, I've noticed there is a definite stun decrease. When you get stunned, you can also, I don't know if you've tried, you can move better on a mouse and keyboard now than you used to be able to. If you like ADS and like turn and shit, you can move easier, and then it just doesn't last as long. So it's noticeably easier to go up against stuns now.
Yeah.
Still fucking good. Annoying, but
yeah, of course.
I wish it was like Vanguard, but not that good.
Yeah. So this next point here, this was on display in our last gameplay stream. Tanner was dead. I don't know who we were playing with. Doesn't matter. But Tanner was spectating me, and me and Elle were alive. Grim and Tanner were dead. So Tanner's spectating me, and we're like rotating into a zone. I'm fully plated, down this guy, keep running in. I get shot from another guy, and I like start like anime movementing, and I'm just immediately dead. And Tanner was like, dude, what the fuck could you have done there? I was like, well, obviously nothing. Like, and that was just an example of a point Tanner's been making for a while with the TTK is pretty outrageous.
Something, yeah.
Feeling.
Yeah.
Now, there are a variety of theories. Is it the hit reg got better? Is it because the automaton does too much damage? Does it have too good of multipliers? Is there no more recoil anymore? What is the culprit here? Tell me your thoughts on this.
Something just seems wrong with the hit reg, or there's like bugged attachment combinations that are causing a faster time to kill. Something just doesn't feel right now. There will be a lot of times where you'll die and you'll get shot at and die. You'll watch the kill cam, and it literally felt like 4 people were shooting at you, and it was one guy, and you're just dead. Like, no time to react. It feels like you're playing multiplayer almost. You go from fully plated, full health, to just downed and full killed in what feels like 300 milliseconds. So you're saying it could be better hit reg. It could be something's fucked up too, where it's like when people are shooting, it's almost like the bullets, like
super bullets.
It's like 6 bullets hit at the same exact time or something.
Yep.
And so you just don't have time to react. And
Dude, that might
be
it.
You would feel this way on Verdansk, but usually it would be to like a cheater or something that felt like a Cronus, you know? And it would just like every single bullet would hit you and you would just be downed. And that's how so many gunfights feel right now. So I don't know what it is. It could be like you're saying, because people are using no recoil guns. So it's like they're hitting every shot like a Kilo or something or an M13 because they're easy to control. Don't know what it is, but something feels wrong. There are just so many times where I'm just dead immediately. Or could also be just because of the map, because I can't just like, I'm not running next to a building and I can like real quick get behind the building and cover. Maybe it's because we know you're running out in the open. So when you start getting shot at, you're often just fucked.
That could be it.
That could be part of it too. I don't know. It's probably just in my head. There's probably not actually something wrong with it, but the way it feels right now, some of these gunfights, the time to kill is horrible. It feels way too fast.
Yeah. I think it's a combination. I think you're right about that. Like, that's when you were spectating me, I had no cover from that guy. There was nowhere I could have gone. So yeah. He had like, I was just clearly in the open because I was next to a building, but I was on the outside of it and he was on, like, the wall was to my left and he was to my right. Like, I couldn't do anything. There was nowhere for me to go. So he just had easy kill. And that does happen more often on this map because, yeah, unlike Verdansk, there isn't just like shit everywhere that you can kind of dive behind. So that could be part of it. No recoil, I think, is definitely part of it because, like, that was an automaton. A lot of these other meta setups that we're seeing now, like an MG, STG. That's another thing, kind of a separate point, but I'll mention it now. Looks like every Vanguard gun can be built to have no recoil, which is super annoying. And I'll get into that a little more in a bit, but that could be part of why a lot of gunfights feel this way, or some gunfights feel this way. And then it could be super bullets too, like Tanner was talking about. So a super bullet is basically you shoot 5 times and each hit like hits me. But when I receive the information that I've been hit with 1 bullet, I receive all of that information at the same time, which is I got hit with 5 bullets from my perspective, all at the same time. And what causes this is like the server tick rate. So if the server has a 12 hertz tick rate, that means every second information to you is updated 12 times. So that's what tick rate means. So if you have a gun with like a really fast fire rate, on tick number 1, the guy has shot 5 bullets, but they haven't finished traveling to me yet. And then on tick 2, all 5 bullets reach me at the same time. Now, ideally, what you would want is a server tick rate of 120 hertz, or as many as you can fit, really.
1,000.
1,000. 2,000. So that when the first bullet is fired, as soon as it lands on your character, the server refreshes so that you've been hit with 1 bullet and you know that, and you can plan accordingly, and you haven't received all the bullets without knowing you received all the bullets yet. That could also be what's going on. And this is the faster the fire rate of a gun, the more bullets you will receive at the same time. This is one of many reasons why really high fire rate guns are really good. On the Cooper carbine, and if you're going full auto, okay, and you land all of your shots, I don't think it's mathematically possible for you to get information that you're receiving 1 bullet at a time. I think you will go from no bullets to like 3, actually, and maybe more. And that's a reason that these high fire rate guns are so good. One of them. So anyways, there's a lot that could be going on here. But yes, it does feel real melty right now. I think the first solution is to bring back recoil. Make recoil a thing again. Because it seems, again, like I was just saying, it seems like it is possible to make every Vanguard gun not have recoil, and this needs to stop. Because if someone doesn't have to do anything but put their reticle on you once and then it's over, they just have to hold down the fire button and they don't have to do any recoil control, doesn't matter what distance, then the game is woefully unfun and less skilled. And this is something Tanner and I lamented when they changed the agency and task force for Cold War guns in Warzone. Every gun had no recoil, wasn't fun at all. Whoever saw the other person first won. And cover didn't matter because you could take people off of head glitches insanely easy because your gun didn't have recoil. So I don't know what it is, but yeah, it is cringe.
By the way, this update today added recoil to almost every gun, actually. So this is probably all going to be wrong.
Good.
I was hearing the Automaton is not nearly as good. L actually just DM'd us in the chat, and he said it's absolutely unusable now because it has that much more recoil. So that's good to hear, actually. I mean, not that it's unusable, but you can go through the patch notes, and it's like, we'll cover them tomorrow. Well, by the time you're listening to this, it will have already done it. But yeah, we'll cover those more, and it looks like a lot of guns got nerfed in that sense, so that's good.
Yeah, that is good. That is good. So yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what comes of that for sure. Next point, this is a small point. Vanguard snipers are weird. I don't know what it is about them. I probably just haven't put in enough time yet. But like, I have a max level Vanguard car that I have used a couple times. And I can't seem to get my shot there. And I'm not sure why. Now, it could be I'm just not used to it. That's happened to me with other snipers before. For example, when I was trying the SPR, I could not land a shot with it for like a week. And then on like day 8, I was hitting everything because I just had to get used to it. But so that could be what's going on with the Vanguard snipers. It probably, in fact, is. I don't know. But it could also be like the default zoom on the default optics is not enough. I'm kind of think that might be the case. Because like the default car optic, there are a lot of snipes where it's like, man, I should get a different optic on this to zoom more, which is maybe something I should be doing. But like when I use the Swiss on this map, it's just butter. But it feels totally normal, and like I hit every shot I would normally hit on like Verdansk. But with the Vanguard snipers, I don't know. I can't get it. But on the other hand, like Tanner's been dinking kids up with ground loot cars, Vanguard cars. So it could be just me. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on this? You haven't used a custom sniper, I don't think.
No,
right?
Haven't used a custom one. I haven't been picking up the ground loot ones too often anymore. Hopefully today with the loot update, they added some better snipers. Because yeah, there's one Car 98 ground loot that has like terrible bullet velocity, and there's one that's a lot better. I think it's the gold one that has pretty good velocity, but like the purple one or something, pretty shit. Takes your bullets a while to hit with that one. So yeah, I don't know. I haven't been using them a whole lot.
Yeah. So we'll come back to this point for sure, because I think I probably just have to get used to it, honestly. And I don't know the numbers on the velocity yet. It in theory, they should have insane velocity, which I think they probably do. And I just need to get used to that. I'm probably leading too much. I don't know though. But yeah, we'll come back to you guys. Let us know your thoughts on Vanguard snipers, how they're performing in Caldera. I'm very curious. Ooh, I like this next point. What is this next point, Tanner?
I still like dropping in with the gulag guns, and I don't mind if other people drop in with them, and plus fuck you if you die to someone with one and complain about it. I don't know. It's really that simple. You just, hey, hopefully you're already used to it by now. You know they're dropping with a good gun. Pay attention to where they're dropping and go kill them right away before they loot even more. Because they're not just going to be one guy land on a team of 4 and just attack you. If they are and they wipe you, then, I mean, you deserve that. Absolutely. But usually 100%. They still just land and start looting. So just pay attention to them. Go kill them. I don't know.
I agree.
I mean, once I die to this, I'll be mad, but I don't. This is still. I have no issue with this. This to me is just another thing that people find to complain about for not too much of a reason. I get it. It will be annoying when you die to it, especially to like a shotgun or something. But hasn't happened to me. Don't know when it will, but shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. So I have an interesting thought on this. So I agree. I still think I like that. I think this is an excellent change. I'm still glad it's in the game, and I prefer it over the other system. But Cam, friend of the pod, Cam Wilkes, British lad in it, was like, yeah, I think it's fine too, unless they get a combat shotgun in the gulag, then it sucks. Okay, fine. Yeah. If they get like a combat shotgun, even then, hey, don't let them get close to you. To kill you, they have to drop, well, they have to, with a combat shotgun, they have to get within like 40 meters of you. So, okay, maybe there's a problem. But don't let them get that close. It's not that big of a deal. I don't know. But then this got me thinking, you know what? Every time there's a new gun in the gulag that's like overpowered, maybe this is annoying, but even still, it would have to be super overpowered for this to be a big deal. Because if it's that overpowered, that should be the gun in your hand, and also you should have 10 attachments instead of the 0 he has on his gulag gun. Kill him. So yeah, I agree. My mind has not changed on this at all. Get good, be better, be more aware, open your eyes, unplug your ears. Yeah, it's so simple. Stop using TV speakers. I don't know what to tell you, but you shouldn't be dying to gulaggers ever.
I always come back with a fucking top break revolver anyways. Hey, you absolutely deserve to die if someone gets you with that, you know?
I agree.
Shitter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, if people are that mad about that, by the way, what they could do, again, they won't, but this would be a decent idea to kind of balance that change. And instead of coming back with 2 plates from the gulag like they do, they come back with like 1 plate or something. So they're easier to kill, but they also have a gun. So they won't do it, but that would be an interesting way to balance that for people that are against coming back with the guns.
Yeah, maybe. I'd prefer 2, but yeah, that would be a compromise between the 2 factions of the
the 2 little
community.
Factions. Yeah. Last thing here. Still liking the map overall, and Fields is still the best drop spot on the map. Every high kill game we've landed Fields. Easy rotates out of there, full of enemy teams. If you don't like the map, you'll probably like fighting at Fields because it's pretty flat most of it. So it doesn't. If you like Verdansk, try landing there because you'll get a bunch of kills off the rip, and it's all just everyone's fighting like in and outside of buildings and stuff. But yeah, easy rotates. Very fun gunfights. Like I said earlier, there's always buy stations there, always vehicles. So it's a great spot. I highly recommend landing there.
Yeah, I agree. So Fields has a couple advantages, which is that it is flat. And it's flat for a lot of the area around there. So like all of Fields is flat, and it's pretty big. So if you see another team, they're not going to have height advantage on you, nor you on them. And if you're like a good player, you like this because you want as even of a playing field as possible so that you can allow your skill to be the deciding factor, and you'll win on flat ground if you're really good way more often than if you're underneath someone, obviously. So that's one advantage. It also has like some buildings and like a fair amount of cover, but it's not downtown either. There's like 1 2-story building. Everything else, well, there's 2 2-story buildings. Everything else is 1 story. And even a 2-story building isn't a problem. So there aren't too many buildings. So it's like there's a good amount of cover. None of it's insane. None of it's good to camp. Like, again, it's not favorite, you know? So that's good too. And there's a decent amount of loot. So the cons of Fields are you are at like the lowest altitude on the map. Now, again, it's not like some fucking crater, you know? So it's not like you're just everyone's looking down on you because it's flat for quite a while around. So it's not that big of a deal, but you are at the lowest point on the entire map, it seems like. There might be some lower points, but everywhere around you has high ground on you. It's just they're very far away. everything around you, but you are lower than everyone else. So that's something to keep in mind, but it's very rarely, if ever, been an issue for us when we're in fields. You have to be rotating out of it for it to be a problem. But if you are trying to rotate out of fields, you'll have to go uphill in every direction. And if you're getting camped by someone uphill, then you might have a problem. But that's, you know, avoidable because there are enough buildings to where, oh, fuck, there's guys up that hill. Let's get behind cover. Let's get into this building. We can take the fight from within the building, which is fine. Relatively even fight there. Or we can get in the building, replate, and fuck off. Also fun.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. And then another disadvantage, another con, is that the loot is pretty bad here relative to some other areas. It's not terrible. It's fine. It is average. It is Vanguard, Caldera, average. It's not Train Station. It is not Superstore. You're not going to get buckets of money or anything. But you're still going to get 10K. And that's kind of what matters, right? So the loot isn't as good. There isn't as much loot density here, but there's enough to where it's still a perfectly fine place to drop.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I haven't tried dropping very many other places because I play with this tyrant who demands we go fields every game.
Because we're all fields mains. You can land wherever the fuck you want, but we're going fields. Stupid shit.
Got it. And ratio. But anyway, yeah. Fields is a very serviceable, fine drop spot. Another advantage of it too, by the way, is it's very central. So you're always in zone.
Yeah.
You could land fields and probably be there until you can get a big game bounty, put it that way. So yeah, that's another advantage too, is you're very, very rarely going to land fields and then be outside of first circle. Very rarely. But it does happen.
Yeah.
That's another advantage. Yeah.
Cool.
So overall, yeah. Those are our second impressions. Still very happy with Caldera. Still find it infinitely better than Verdansk. And my first impressions actually, now you guys have heard this, have not changed very much. I don't think I've really changed my opinion on, in fact, anything that was in my first impressions. The only things really are kind of like we've gotten some new impressions, but I don't think I've really changed my mind on anything.
Yeah. I think so.
So, yeah. So anyway, there you guys go. We hope you enjoyed. This has been a Patreon bonus episode. If you liked it, then consider fucking joining up. Patreon.com/thedropshot. It is the best way to support the program. We do bonus episodes. We do a minimum of 4 every month, no matter what tier you're at. And we do even more if you want to upgrade your tiers. And once again, patreon.com/thedropshot. You can check out all the things we offer there. Reminder, coffee mugs and whiskey glasses, low stock. If you want them, go to thedropshot.com. Get them while they're hot, because we won't be restocking these at least for like a year minimum. And if we do restock them, they will look different. So if you want a first edition merch item, get it soon. Because, you know, we're not selling 10 things a day, but we're selling pretty much at least one item every single day. We will run out of stock on coffee mugs and whiskey glasses. Don't know when, but we will. I promise. We're selling at least an item like every single day since we launched. So if you want a first edition thing, do it. It's a great way to support the show as well. And once again, patreon.com/thedropshot. And if you're hearing this early, if you are a patron, thank you guys. We love you. We appreciate you. You are by far the driving force for this program. We literally couldn't do it without you, and we love you. That is it. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. Have an excellent evening, of course. And as always, remember, stay humble, and my tree is better than Tanner's.
That's absolute cap. Stay humble.